Welcome, Marian, to Quick and Delish Life Conversations, where Alicia Connor, your friendly neighborhood dietitian and chef, speak with wonderful people about how they do their meal planning, a little bit of insight on how you do your meal planning with your family, and then what do you do for your business? And because you're so passionate about it, and health and wellness is your jam, your jammy jam. So, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's such an honor. So I really appreciate this.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know you have whatever, small family, medium-sized
Mhm.
family. It's hard to know how to describe one size of family, but anyway, how please give us some insight on how you do meal planning because everybody's different and
Oh yeah.
we have our priorities and there's no one size fits all and over time we modify. And the most important thing is to continue doing the meal planning because we're worth it. You're worth it.
It's true. And I love learning how other people meal plan because I'm always looking for something that works with my family. I have two teenagers, my husband, and it's super important for me to have healthy meals on the table, not just at dinner, but when they come home from school, it's like a full meal. So I really have to prep. And my best way of prepping is I have a sheet of paper that says calm the fork down.
Cool.
And it has every day. And I just usually on the weekend or the end of the week, I sit down, I think about it, I look up recipes, I look up recipes that, for example, Alicia sent me, and I decide, okay, then I look at the calendar. When are we all going to be home? Because my kids both play sports in the evening. So it's kind of tricky, but it's usually, okay, when can I be prepping and just have it ready for them? Have not implemented yet that I really want to do is taking time during the weekend, like a couple hours, and doing the meal planning or a Monday, so that I have everything just in the fridge ready to pop in the oven. That's like my goal for 2026.
Awesome. So just you have it here and then you put it in the oven and and then so it's like it's cooked or mostly cooked
Hmm.
and it just needs to get
You
put in
heat
the
it
oven
up, and it's
or
just,
heat it up on the stovetop, right?
yeah, or even in the oven. And it's something that I could even tell my husband or my kids, like, pop this in the oven. I'm going to pick up your sister, whatever, so they can help out too. And on that note, recently I was so excited. My daughter went with me to the grocery store, and I was like, yes, because she's my hardest to please. And so I'm like, let's just go up and down the aisles, and you tell me what looks good, what sounds good, what do you most enjoy for dinner, for snacks. And it was just great because I got her input, and I knew coming home, I'm like, okay, like I'm set for the week because she's my hardest to please. Like everyone else will eat anything. But my daughter, she's gotten a lot better, but it's just, she just is more choosy about what she wants to eat. So,
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing to be like picky
no.
eater or whatever. I actually was a very picky eater as a kid. You know, my mom made chicken soup and it was good. My favorite part of the chicken soup was the broth with the vegetables. And like I ate some of the meat, but I like if there was anything like hard or anything, I'd be like,
Yeah,
ugh.
it's a texture thing too, as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like me, I didn't mind like if she made like a chili kind of sloppy Joe kind of thing with like beef and then vegetables and beans, like red kidney beans. And so like when there were like a lot of spices in there, I was more likely to eat the meat than if there was not as many
Hmm.
spices because I needed the meat to taste like something else delicious.
Wow. That's really cool. Not a lot of kids are like that. Or maybe there are, I just don't know. But my son is really, he loves spice and he loves different herbs, and my daughter's gotten better. I mean, it's good, but you want him to eat, and you want him to eat healthy. So it's a priority. It always has. But I enjoy planning. Like I like looking at the calendar. I like planning things. I like planning my food. So it's something that I don't I look forward to, actually. And then it's kind of a challenge. Okay, what recipes am I gonna dig up this week? And I never do. It's my husband kind of pokes fun at me, but when I make chili, he's like, "Oh, what recipe was that?" And I'm like, "A different one." Like I do a different one like every time because they're similar, but it's like, "Oh, why not try something else?" I don't know. And I love crock pots as well, especially this time of
But
year.
it's really important. Like not everybody realizes that it's the planning part that's the most important part. Without
Hmm.
a plan, and we're like flying by the seat of our pants. I mean, come on, like what happens in your house if you guys don't have a plan? What would happen?
Yes. And that's what I think I was telling you before that last time we chatted that I went to the grocery like last week and I didn't have a plan. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, and that's not me. And last week was kind of a disaster. But like I
Hey,
went,
hey, 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 watch the
sorry.
language.
It wasn't ideal. Okay, it wasn't ideal. And so I'm excited about going into this week and this weekend because I went on, I think it was Friday, and I had a plan. And it feels good. Feels good to have a plan.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And like having a stocked pantry, it doesn't have to be like, stocked to the gills or anything, but just like options so you can make something really quick just in case. You don't get to go to the grocery store today to get what you wanted to make. You always have something that you could put together or grab from the freezer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
So now please tell us about your business and how you work with your clients and why you're so passionate about this.
I am passionate about clean living, and something that was introduced to me about 7 years ago was what we put on our skin. So not just your skin products, but your deodorant, your hair, your body, all of those things. And I learned a lot about that through a company called Beauty Counter that I worked for about 5 years. And it brought this passion out of me that I didn't know I had. I mean, I knew that I've always been interested in living, but it just took it to a new level. And the fact when I was learning, my kids were little and they were learning with me and they bought into it is like the biggest gift ever. Because what we put, our skin's our largest organ, what we put on our skin goes into our bloodstream
And
and
what we eat.
in what we eat. I mean, it's all together. And so I started this path that I was not, I was with a certain company, and so I was selling certain products, but their mission was for everyone to get their hands on clean and safe products.
Products.
But that's what my mission was. And I was in education for years. I was an elementary school teacher. And then I took a break and stayed home with my kids for several years. And so education's just in me. And I thought, oh my gosh, when I started working for this company, it was educating, but it was also selling clean options for people, like amazing options that they were clean, but they worked, so it was a skincare regimen, it was a deodorant, it was, all different things. But but what I loved about it was I got to share with people why it's important. Why is it important to put clean on your skin? And not to scare people, but to just educate how toxic a lot of the things are that are out there. And not only that, the false advertising that's out there. And so I love the fact that I was learning, like every day I was learning something and sharing that. So I did that for 5 years. And then a year and a half ago, the company Beauty Counter went under. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I can't stop doing this. So I decided to start working with other companies that I believe passionately about through my research, through people I trusted. And I started trying different brands. And Beauty Counter came back as Counter this summer. But now I have more companies to share and different price points, and some have different products than others, so it's all based around skincare and body, but I just love the fact that I have more options now to help people. A lot of people just don't want to use one brand. They like to use different brands, which I totally get. I wasn't that person, but I get it. And I just love Beauty Counter so much. I didn't want to use anything else. But now I've tried other things and I love helping people discover that and take the overwhelming feeling of, oh my gosh, going down that rabbit hole of, is this really clean? Is this not? We're busy. I mean, if you're a mom, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever, everyone's busy. And what I like to do is I like to help people take that off their plate and say, okay, what do you use the most? Let's start there. I don't want, some people are like want a complete overhaul and that's fine, but some people they're not there yet. And some people are using perfectly good stuff. Don't give that up if you don't need to. So I when I work with people, I have two different plans that I work. And one is just the simple, okay, what what's your interest? What do you want to be? What do you need the most? What are you looking for? What type of skin do you have? Just getting right down to it and helping them discover those products. And it may mean me sending samples first or them ordering. I work directly with the companies too, so I know how to get things returned. I know how to get, all the things that stress people out. I'm like their in-between person. And I follow up and I make sure that you're using the products properly because a lot of people waste product and they're like, I'm spending so much money. And it's like, yeah, you are because you're putting 5 pumps when you need one, So I really
That's
spell that
huge.
out. It is huge. It's absolutely huge. And I am guilty of doing that sometimes because I'm not thinking. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I'm like putting it everywhere, you know, like I'm not going to waste this. But and then following up, in 2 weeks, in a month, you don't just lose me. Well, if you want to, you can, but I like to stick around and make sure it's working for you. And our skin changes through the seasons, through we all go through transitions. So,
Life
I
transitions. Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one that I help with is just a complete overhaul. If someone's like, okay, here's what I'm using. Let me know, how safe it is. Um, I just worked with a client and she handed everything over to me, even like her laundry detergent and her dishwash and all of that. Because I'm like, I can help with all of that, not just your skin. And so I made a list and I did the research and we'll talk about the EWG in a minute because that's a huge resource for me. And I go through that and I see the rating. I discover, okay, what's not good in this or what's really good in this. You can stick with this. So I kind of break it apart and then give options. And I work with them with their budget, with okay, I some people are like, I really want to do an overhaul, but I can't afford it right now. So we start with one or two products. You can always add products. And then sometimes if you have sensitive skin, not sometimes, but that's the wise thing to do anyway. You don't want to just do
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, change. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's awesome. And I love the extra customized touch. And having samples and be able to like ask for help about like, hey, this product didn't work out, or I don't know, was this the right product? Did we order this one? I don't know. Because it's in life we get to manage disappointments. And if we can have somebody like you that helps with communication of the disappointments, and the
Yeah.
uncertainty. Otherwise, we end up just holding on to stuff and then adding it to our stock of purchased items that we're not using and we forget why we have it, etc.
Exactly. I know. And I do love sending samples because I feel it makes me feel better. Some people are just one of the companies that I work with, you could return, it's a 365-day return policy. And it's because their products are so incredibly good. Like I don't know anybody that's returned anything, but it's for me, it's nice to know that that's there, that it's simple if it doesn't work out. But I do like sending the samples because then we know. It's like, I'll send a couple options of moisturizers and they'll be like, I like them both, but I like this one better. And it gives me a better idea of their skin and what the ingredients are working well with them too. So it's really in the client's hands, how they want to work with me. If it's a Zoom, if it's in person, if it's texting, if it's an email, their time is precious, and I realize that. So it's very customized for each client.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You really make it easy. So, yeah, so the Environmental Working Group or EWG is a great resource website that anybody could go on the website and check out the beauty products as well as look at what produce, vegetables and fruit we should eat that are organic, like prefer to purchase organic versus some vegetable and produce that is okay to buy conventional. And that's the you might have heard this the 12 the Dirty Dozen, and then those are recommended to eat organic and purchase organic. And then the clean 15 are the vegetables and fruit that you could get conventional. And like avocados and bananas are two examples, or onions. But the list gets updated every year. So don't make any assumptions, just like in science. Like sometimes we pick up some information and we store it in our brain. I call it like we put it in our backpack and we carry it around with us. But like honestly, information gets updated. And so we can't make the assumption that the information is the same.
Hmm. I agree. It's always changing, so you've got to stay up on it.
Yeah. Very cool. And then I'm sure you could offer gift opportunities for anniversaries or holidays and birthdays and all that jazz.
Yes. So I'm really excited because I just added a page to my website for holiday shopping. And it's just ideas that I have through the brands that I work with of great gifts to give for all different types of people. And I also have on my website that you can just send me a message. You click on and it sends me a message. If you want to work directly with me, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to get my wife or my kids, let me just contact Marian and I can send you a bunch of options and ideas. You can tell me a little bit about them. So, and I'm going to be adding gift certificates as well onto my web. The one thing about holiday purchasing and you want it to be personal. You don't want to be just like, oh, I just found this. And I feel like the gifts that I've curated that I put on my webpage, they're very thoughtful. And it just makes you feel good to give something to somebody that you know that they're gonna like, or you hope, but it's clean, it's safe. And that could alter their lives. From there they could go to like, oh, I love this. I love the feeling, or I know it's clean, so I want to, go down that path. You just never know. But it's a hectic time of year. And it's like, oh my gosh, when am I going to get this person? When am I going to get that person? And I just want to alleviate that and help people do that. I've been contacting a lot of my friends, just like, give me a list and let me just send you some ideas. It's not set in stone. You don't have to buy them all, but I want to help you. So, let me do that. So I love doing it. It
Yeah.
makes me feel good.
That's awesome. The gift of giving. Yeah. And it's empowering because there are so many products out there that are not clean. And there are a lot of products that are clean, and going with ones that work for your skin and your body. Like you mentioned, you can help with clean laundry soap or dish soap. So anything from the hair, like shampoo and conditioner, all the way down to the toes, the tippity toes. And then, yeah, cleaning products. That's great.
One thing that I just added is nail polish. Yes, it's
Cool.
a company, and I know I'll say it wrong. It's COTE with an accent, I think, on the O. So Cote, I believe. People
Or
say
coat.
coat, people say Cote. Um, and it's such an amazing nail polish. They have over 100 different shades, but it's clean nail polish. Like there's not much of that out there. And I've been using it for years. When I do get a pedicure or manicure, which is maybe twice a year, I always take mine with me. I'm like, this is what I'm going to use. I mean, they have shampoo, they have, gosh, they're growing, so they've added lip gloss and they've added the shampoo, the conditioner, the body wash, the body lotion. So they're growing, they're adding more things, but their bread and butter, I want to say, is like they started with the nail polish, and I couldn't be happier with that. So I think that's a great stocking stuffer. I always put it in my sister and my mom's stocking at Christmas. It's always fun for them to get a festive color or something. So.
That is so cool. I'm so happy to hear. I think I've heard about cleaner nail polish before, and it's easy to forget.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm not, yeah, I'll get my nails done once in a blue moon, but But bring your own, right? You can still have the service that's provided out there at the nail salon, but bring your own nail polish.
Yeah, it's never been an issue. They're like, great. Doesn't matter to them,
Yeah,
you know?
it's a bottle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, can I have that back?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what do you think, what's like a message you want to relay to the listeners here today, our audience that are watching this and that want to learn more about the clean life and maybe they're already doing a pretty good job and want to lean in a little bit more, um,
That's a
or
really,
or just one step to get started.
I think be kind to yourself. We all are so hard on ourselves, and we want to do everything right. And we want to, especially if you have a family, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I, I've got to do this and this and this and this. You don't need to do everything at once. It's impossible. And so just starting is amazing. And when people ask like, oh, what should I start with? And I'm like, what do you use the most? Oh, I wash my hands like 10 times a day. Okay, hand wash. Just simple, simple. I mean, I couldn't do a big overhaul when I think it was like 5 years ago when I really, really started looking at everything. I couldn't. I mean, you can't afford to do that. And so I just started simple and I added on and I tried to quiet those voices of like, you know,
You should do better.
yes, you need to have everything clean. I mean, it's not doable. So don't do that to yourself.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. Yeah, keep it simple and the little things. Yeah, anything you could do where you like bring your bags to the grocery store so you don't have to take bags. Just little things that make life easier. 'Cause yeah, again, like it's like you want to feel good and do the right thing. And I think honestly, after the pandemic, I think we all, I mean, I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I think we all kind of like we went in on survival within an uncertain time period, and we I think are now in the last year and a half or so, like getting back to more of our, oh yeah, sustainable packaging and cleaner ways of living because we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna still be here. So let's
Right. That's
remember
a
that
good
we're our
point.
most important
Mhm.
person.
Yeah.
And so I think this is where we are culturally is like, what else can we do? Because we are our first home, our bodies,
Mhm.
what we
Mhm.
eat, what we smell, what we wear, in terms of like the chemicals that we use to clean our clothes, etc. It impacts our health,
Mhm.
and one bite, one step at a time, right? And we're all doing our best. And only a couple years ago did I actually learn the meaning of that. You're doing your best. And there was a challenging period of time, and somebody I was working with said, "We're doing our best." And at that moment, I was, oh, yeah. Now I get the meaning of that.
Mhm. Yeah.
We are literally always doing our best every day. Our
Mhm.
best looks different every day,
Mhm.
and we are always doing our best.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time today. We're going to
Mhm.
have a follow up in 2026.
Awesome.
And let's cheers to the wonderful goodness every day.
Yes. Thank you so much, Alicia. I really appreciate this time.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Cheers to everyone here. Thanks for watching.